Hey everybody out there, my name is Dragnix, and is Jigoku Kisetsukan Sense of the Seasons worth your time? It's a free-to-play bullet hell game, but unlike other free-to-play games on Steam, there is no microtransactions. This game is literally a free game, which is a good thing. Good to see Steam bring some games that are, a little bit different onto the platform. Now, is it worth your time? Yeah, I would say so. For a bullet hell game, it does a very good job of introducing the player to bullet hell and gives it a challenge at this point. Now, unlike normal where I go and talk about the game and while doing that play the game as question, I'm actually going to focus on playing and put my voice over it as opposed to this first part, mostly because the amount of tension and detail that's needed in this game, I want to show you exactly what I'm talking about when doing that, and that requires a lot of focus. So we'll be back. Alright, so let's go into the story mode here at this point. You do have a couple of characters you can play as. You only start with Tenshi at this point, but as you play along, you'll unlock new characters like the Animal Tamer and this half yokai here. There is a little bit of variety in their characters. I'll show you two of them by the end of this video, but we're going to start with Tenshi at this point, which is the basic one to start off with. So, simple bullet hell mechanics. So, I'm playing on normal here. You do have, again, bullets flying your way. Again, the reason why I wanted to do this in this format rather than the normal format is, again, there's a lot of detail that needs to be paid attention to. As if I'm talking the entire time, I'm going to really suck. Now, like a lot of bullet hells, there's a lot flying at you. One of the things that you have to understand is the fact that it's not all about reaction time. In particular, it's about looking ahead. Now, the thing is that if you're reacting very quickly to the bullets, like, 2 feet in front of your face, you are going to die, and at least in my opinion. The thing is, though, if you're looking entirely ahead and looking at what the best path to get through the bullets is, then you're going to do a lot better. And that's the thing about bullet hell games, is that there's usually a path that's a lot easier than every other one. There, I didn't make the right choice, and therefore ran into some problems. Now, you'll notice those colors that I picked up. Each of those ribbons mean a certain different power-up or a different aspect of the game. The red ones, for example, will increase your power, which is the bullets that you fire off. As you increase more and more, you'll get more and more bullets, a little bit more firepower to them, so on and so forth. Purple is aura. I will show you that power in a little bit here. Green is life. They have a weird system with lives. It's not just like, 1 life, 2 life. They'll actually let you collect like parts of lives, but you will only be able to use it one at a time, so keep that in mind. Now we're going to have our boss fight here, which is mainly where you're going to die. You'll notice the patterns here. And I do my best to try to react to it. I use my aura power here because I see that I'm going to get hit at that point. Health bar is near the enemy there. I do like how this game, when it's appropriate to the enemy, like most enemies, it's a circle, like around there. But when an enemy has a specific, like, it takes up a bigger part of the screen, it does a lot better job in terms of it'll change its health bar appropriately. Now, you do want consistency there, but you also want to make it visually understandable in terms of what's coming and, you can actually see it as opposed to sort of straining your eyes to keep a consistent tone. And this one, I think, did a really good job in knowing when to use the health bar that it is using right now and when not to. Now, you'll notice here that I'm doing my best to try to stay in the back as much as possible, but move forward when appropriate. That's the thing about bullet hell games, and this bullet hell does a pretty good job in understanding that, if you're looking for that path, like I said before, it does a very good job of giving you that path without it being necessarily hard. Now, the thing is that if you're always looking for the path and just firing forward, it's the reason why the auto-aim is in this games, it's going to take you a while. You have to get comfortable with firing and, going through your path and then making yourself back to the enemy in question. It's, again, easier for you to just sort of wait it out and try to, wait, and then take your chances, because there will be periods of times where, it's easier for you to be able to take on your enemy rather than just sort of, powering through. All right, so I'm going to continue at this point. Now, again, with experience here, there is a sense of, overwhelmness with these kind of games. And again, that can feel like that at times. But again, that's part of the reason why bullet hells exist. You want that, like, sensation of, oh yeah, everything is against me, and I'm, backed off into the corner. Sort of like the Matrix movie, where it's just like, you got a shitload of bullets coming at you, and you can stop it with your mind. Now, I beat that level. Didn't do so well. This game is very critical when it comes to scoring mechanics, but hey, it is a bullet hell game. And again, I'm only playing this on normal. Hard, insane, you probably, well, we're gonna see that in a little bit, actually. Now, you see the bullet patterns here, I haven't gotten used to yet, so I'm really struggling. I do like the fact that they changed up the bullet patterns between levels. Like, a lot of bullet hell games just sort of throw it at the same angles or the same rates at you at times. Not making up with it with a variety of the bullets and the angles. Here, I think they did a really good job in keeping the experience that unique, so you really have to react over and over again. You see, notice how everything is different here, like the different patterns and different areas that I can move to. It does a very good job in doing that. Here, I'm just like sitting there going, okay, up, right, left, get into the bigger spaces there, but I have to watch out from behind me at this point. Now, they do a good job with mini-bosses and bosses in this game. In fact, there's not a lot of complaints I can have, especially for, again, this is a free-to-play game. It's a free game, really, when it comes down to it. So, all the complaints that I could throw against it, in terms of, like, let's say, art style. The art style, sometimes it's really hard to see some enemies in terms of the background. I would say that the color schemes, at times, would do a better job. I do like the fact that the bullets are always seeable in terms of what is against the background. The enemies, not so much. Like, you see the light blue angel there. She does sort of blend in a tiny bit to the clouds. Not really. I could see people who have color blindness having a problem with that. But again, it's sort of augmented by the fact that it's a free game. Now, again, free games, you still have to spend your time. But I do feel like, especially with a genre like this, again, I mentioned this in a past video with a 90-second dash of, I think it was Dirakusu, that it's really hard to get into this without feeling like overwhelmed. The fact is, if you buy, a bullet hell game and it's really giving you a lot of problems, you'll feel like it's a wasted purchase. This is a perfect kind of game to just sort of test it out. Like, okay, let's see what happens. Again, another boss. The music here is actually all right for a free-to-play game. I found that surprising. It has a good sense of beat. It's got a good sort of different soundtrack. It's not the greatest. I don't expect it to be, but it did a good job. I do want to see a little bit more story from it, but again, another complaint that I really can't throw against it that much. Again, you're seeing the variety here, and I'm trying to find the best areas to go to. One thing I will say about the game, though, that I think would really, really help it is sensitivity. I'm playing with a controller at this point, and the thing is that sensitivity is really important in games like this, like mouse sensitivity or controller stick sensitivity, because there's such preciseness needed at times. Like right here, if I move just a little bit wrong in one direction, I'm dead. So it would be nice to change that, but it is a little bit of a challenge to get adjusted to it as well. All right, I think I'm gonna die rather quickly at this point. I think I become a little bit too aggressive at one point. What else can I talk about? Let's talk about the need for auto-fire in this game. Now, auto-fire is important in games like this because, again, in a lot of games like Galaga and in games like Space Invaders, you're so focused on the enemies and not necessarily on yourself. This game wants to bring it to yourself at this point. Wants you to focus on dodging more than anything else. The idea of firing at that point becomes interesting because if you're focusing on firing, you're not focusing on dodging at that point. Now, I'm going to play as Eco here at this point, and you're going to see that I'm going to play on Hell mode just for your guys' laughter at this point. Now, Eco has a little bit of a different strategy. She's very close range, which is problematic in a bullet hell game, really. It is going to be a challenge, but you'll see here, yeah, Not that hard, not that easy, I should say. Yeah, I'm like barely surviving at this point. You can see that, maybe some of the segments I didn't do a good job of predicting at this point. And I'm having to get close, which is even worse at this point. I do think that her style is a little bit problematic compared to some of the other styles, but I do appreciate it. It's not like I have to play as her. I just got to get close enough to actually use her. And you see there, I'm like really struggling, and nope, that's it. It took one. I didn't even get past the mini boss at this point. And that's the end of this video. So, is it worth your time? I do believe so. I really do. And in the end, it's a very good free-to-play game that doesn't cost anything, and it really only costs your time, and in the end, I think that's worth it. All right, this is Dragnix signing out, and I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Hey, thanks for watching. If you have a chance, leave some feedback and comments below. If you liked the video, hit that like button. And if you want more content like this, hit that subscribe button. This is Dragnix signing off, hoping that gaming brings as much fun to you as it does for me.